Okay. All right, so can we get up and dance? You know how we do it. We need to shake off the food. We need to shake it off. So can we all get up?
Hey, we'll go. What do you feel?
Can we get up, please?
Now we get, give me love. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. No, ladies and gentlemen. Press record. Ladies and gentlemen.
We are getting up and dancing.
Let's go.
All right. Okay, before we do the feedback, I'd like to invite someone. Someone who was like you, who was seated in the crowd just like you a couple of months ago. Whew. And today, he's done level 1 and 2. And he sent me a message during the week and said to me, you know what? I don't know why they call me HM, but let's just start story for another day. So he said, HM, you know what? I want to say some things to these people. I want to explain to them how I feel. I want them to know the difference between the Larry of then and the Larry of now. So guys, put your hands together as we bring Larry on the stage to tell you his experience with NLP levels 1 and 2. Please clap for him. It's not easy. Encourage him.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Awesome. How's it been going? From the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday experience, how's it been? I think it's just for a few people. If it has been awesome, can I see your hands up? Okay, can you drop your hands? If it has not been awesome, can I see your hands up? Okay, some people are not even sure. All right, so if it has been awesome, can I see your hands up? Great. Give yourself a round of applause, please. All right. All right. Yeah, I said I would like to share my story. Okay, I was seated like this for a push. That was in July. Actually, yeah, it was July this year. Yes, this year. And let me tell you a little before then. A friend of mine told me about push. The person registered before me, so I couldn't participate in that particular push. And after the push, the person sent me a message. I'm actually seeing a whole lot of things happening to me already with these 3 days. I think I'm going full-fledged in it, and I'm going to be registering for the full package. And I said, okay, so how much is this full package going to be costing? And she said, it's going to be costing about 900 plus, because I'm paying for everything. I'm like, what? My critical mind, just like some of you right now. Some of you right now are thinking, are you serious? That's not possible. And that was what I said to her, like, are you kidding? Is it an MBA program? Like, this is bigger and way much more value add than MBA. I'm like, okay. So Larry, you have to be part of this push. I said, okay, I'll be part of it. Guess what? I started day 1, day 2. I'm sure you remember the part of being critical, you know, when people are trying to help you to see something. But in your mind, the way you're being trained, the way you've been too overconscious, you're trying to filter everything. I was getting value. I was getting value, but I was also filtering. To me, it was looking like sales. Like, these guys are trying to sell to me.
They want to corner.
Someone is feeling me. I was there. I was actually there. You know, you get to a point where you are actually getting value. Your inner self is telling you, wow, I never knew this was what was causing this. This was what was actually affecting other parts of my life. Oh, now I see. How many people are getting aha moments in the event, because of the event? Fantastic. And even while you are getting that aha moment, it gets to a point where you need to make decision. They're telling you make a decision. And your limiting self is saying, I don't think I'm worth it for now.
Now you cook up one excuse,
I still need more money to do other things. Let me try and make money, then I'll come back. It's still the critical self. It's still the limiting belief. The limiting belief that you cannot get the money, or the limiting belief that it might not be worth it. Or what if? Or the but. Different buts. I want to do it, but I want to do it, but I love it, but it's a great idea, but that was where I was. And day 1 went, I got a lot of values because I was with my big pad, I still have it today. I write all the points. And when it gets to a point where I needed to make decision, I was like, Larry, you're a sales guy. These guys, is it that they are trying to sell to you? And I will go home the first day. The second day, you know, and there's this word, I was still telling someone today. That word kept ringing in my head, even till now, you know, because whatever you've experienced now is causing a change. The change might not be instant, but the change will happen. A lot of things have been imprinted in your mind, in your head, in your subconscious, and they'll start coming out. You start seeing yourself. Sometimes you call yourself back like, wow, did I just respond that way? Wow. It's because of this free event. So you cannot imagine if it's the full one. Let me go back into it. The third day, one word kept ringing in my head. Larry, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. What other part of your life have you been running away from making decisions that can transform and change your life forever? I couldn't sleep. I was just thinking about it. And that part of limiting, saying, the money is too much. But at the end of the third day, you know, the speaker came, spoke, and I just said to myself, if this has been the way I've been doing other things, if this has been the way I've been doing every other thing in my life, because let me tell you what I discovered. I discovered that it wasn't just about the way I do things, the way I see things. It was actually several patterns that have actually affected the way I even do my businesses. I run an IT firm. And it comes to a point where I get to a part of a job and the job don't drop. I drop it off, not because I won't be able to do it, but because I get so overwhelmed with different things, different limiting beliefs, and I just drop off the project. You know, and not just that, different things in my relationship with my wife, with my children. I just realized that all these things are tied together. They are tied to things I need to come and break off. They are tied to things I need to come and, learn and relearn. You know, and at the end of the day, sorry?
Tell us your experience when you came.
And, yeah, yeah, and when I came for level 1, okay, before level 1, there was, we did something that to me looked like a child's play. That was about goal setting, about how you set your goal. I don't know if you've done it. Architecture of creation. You know, and by the time we did it, for me it was, okay, let me just use a car. I was trusting that I could get a car. You know, and I just did it. And we went through the entire process.
Sorry, that's the strategic visioning we'll be going into soon.
Yeah. You know, by the time we did it, for me it was like a child's play, but I was participating. I participated all through. You know, and my level 2 was when it occurred to me. I had to go back to my chart because I got myself a Ford 2010 recently. And I now went back to the chart. That it was after the goal setting that I made the contact with the person that gave me the good offer of how I could get a car. And yes, you might say it's a coincidence, but I love that kind of coincidence, don't you? You understand? And it's all played out. Now, fast forward to NLP 1. Was pretty interesting. Overwhelming too, because there are a lot of things you get to learn, a lot of tools. I learned about a lot of tools, and one of the major things that stood out to me was how I had to become intentional in my conversation. You know, the way I relate with my wife changed to a point where she had to say, Larry, do you know before you would have said this and this and this, and he used to pay me. I'm like, oh, really? And it was just in the process of that level 1. The way I interact with my children, then a whole lot of other things that I also had together. But my level 2 now brought clarity. You know, it was as if, I wrote something recently, I said, people that have gone level 1, you need to be part of it. If you are thinking to yourself, NLP, push is okay. Just imagine I tell you I have a big package and I'm giving you some for free. And already the free one is already making you salivate and you're already feeling full. Imagine when I give you the full. The level 1 now gives you the entire tools that you can actually utilize. The neuro-linguistic. It's actually the language. At the end of the day, it still comes back to the language because that forms everything you have to do with everybody in life at the end of the day. You know, and level 2 now gave me some tools to be able to, you know, bring clarity to some things I could not.
You know what you told me about level 2, and we did something in class,
yeah,
and how it has improved your sales.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
All right. Before you can do anything in life, I realized that from this platform, I realized that before you could do anything successful in life, you need to know how to develop rapport. And this was one of the things I learned here. And in the course of that, we did something that had to do with sales. You know, being able to sell without people knowing you're actually selling. Ecologically, not trying to rip people up, but in a way that you are actually starting a conversation. For a long part of my life, I can sit in the same seat with you, traveling for 2 hours and not utter a word. No, but after that program, I was super excited because we were given an exercise to do to sell something to someone who was never here. And by the time I was done, they were like, you actually sold to me. And I bought it. You know, and that was what I learned because I needed that in my business. And I'm sure a lot of us need that in our business. You know, and we went downstairs to eat. And I just saw a guy. I needed to speak with him. And I ran after him. For the first time in my life, that I did it so well. In less than 1 minute, I was able to make a contact. I was able to speak. We were able to communicate. We were able to exchange numbers. You know, and that's just like one of several other things. Then there was one of the tools we learned because in the process of these courses, you might not be able to grab everything now. But there are some things you lay hold on. And those are the things that matter most to you. For where you are right now, there are a lot of tools you need right now that when it gets to you, that will be the only thing that matters because that alone is worth more than the money. And this particular tool, the Cartesian something, what brought up, and it made so much sense. Being able to use simple questions to get your mind to give you the actual results you've been looking for all your life. Just 4 questions. And I delved in. I won't be able to go into that, but I delved in. That tool alone, I didn't tell you. I've been able to practice it with my little kids.
Wow.
I've been able to practice it with my friends. My very close friend. I've done it with myself, even with my spouse. I did it with someone recently, and even before I did it, I said, "What I'm going to do for you is going to cost you 100,000."
Whoa! Larry making money already.
And the guy said, just let me see if it works.
Okay.
And by the time I was done, we had like 2 pages written out.
Wow.
And I said, wow, did I say all this? I said, yes, you gave me all these answers. But do you know how many answers you have locked up inside of you?
Wow.
Do you know? You don't.
Fantastic.
You have no idea. So by going through this, you are going to be able to help yourself become better before you can help other people become what?
Better.
Awesome. And these are the things many more things, actually.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, what I'd like to ask is that whose turn would it be next to come sit here and tell another who will come for push your story? Say I. Thank you so much. Looking forward to having you soon.
Yep. Alrighty. There's something about your past that's holding you back. I don't know what it is, but maybe you shouldn't let it. Please go back on that thing. The next one. Someone or something. Can we read this together, everybody? 1, 2, go. You will not be able to see everything, but I beg of you to manage. Okay? Let's read together, everybody. 1, 2, go. Someone. Who is making that decision here? Say, I. Yeah. Someone messed up your past. Let it mess up your future. When I was coming to do this push today, I went to Victoria Island. And they took me to the beach. And this part of the beach, I entered a boat and they took me to somewhere where I could see the Atlantic Ocean. And I gathered a group of people I saw and I asked them what they were arguing about. And they were arguing about an event where they saw some fishermen having an argument. These fishermen were having an argument because they witnessed something very powerful they had never witnessed before. What was that? They saw an argument with 2 fishes. One, a shark, and one, a tilapia. And it's not like they were arguing with each other. It's just that they witnessed something that they had never been witnessed in the ocean. And as I heard this story, I thought about it. I didn't have a solution. So I said to them, I'm coming to this place called Push. And there are some really smart people there. And these smart people, I'm sure they will get me the answers. And I want to share the story with you. This fateful day, they were at the ocean and they saw a fish. A tilapia. They saw another fish. A shark. The shark woke up this fateful day and was praying a prayer. And he said, Father, as I go about the big, mighty blue ocean today, I pray that all of my needs shall be met. I want to acknowledge that you are Lord. I know I am big, but you said that the strength of a fish will fail it. So today I want to declare my total dependence on you. For the arm of the flesh shall not prevail. In this big mighty ocean, I ask you to direct me to where my food is. And you know my food. I like special tilapias to eat. Just make sure I see the right one, because some tilapias are dangerous. They'll lead you to murky waters where you may get into trouble. Lord, I pray that today, everywhere that I go, as a tilapia, as a shark, order my footsteps. In your name, I pray. And the fisherman told me about the experience of the tilapia. And the tilapia had an unusual experience where he was found praying. He said, "You said you will prepare a table for me in the middle or in the midst of my enemies." There are enemy sharks all around the ocean today, and there is food that I need. I can't eat them. But while I'm about eating my food, oh Lord, ensure that no shark eats me up. All the dangerous places that I usually enter and get into trouble, may the doors in this be shut. Guide my path today. Direct me. May I hear your still small voice saying to me, "This is the way. Swim in it." And the fishermen were arguing. And I honestly know that if I came here, I would get the answers. Now, the issue is, I really want to know which of these two fishes' prayer, if it was possible. I want you to choose just one. Tell me, you think from what I have said that the Lord of the waters should answer the prayer of the shark or the tilapia, and why? You must choose one. If you're not choosing one, don't raise up your hand. So I want people who are saying smart, and they'll give me a reason why any of these prayers should be answered. Anybody? Anybody near me? Eh? Yes. Come. Which prayer? So stand up quickly, quickly, quickly. Abigail.
The tilapia.
The tilapia. The tilapia's prayer is the one that should be answered.
Yes.
Why?
Because the tilapia is going to look for its own food. It's walking, wanting to look for its own food, and it's praying against danger on its way to look for its
While
own food.
the shark is
waiting for God, the God of the water, to direct it to where the food is.
okay.
Meanwhile, it has
This is the time when you hear a lot of theology. Yeah, I want to go to somebody else quickly. Yes, sir.
I think it's the prayer of the shark. It's the prayer of the shark, because the shark is more specific. He said he wants special tilapias, and then he's going after the special tilapias.
Okay. That mic, I think we need a new stuff there. Yes, sir.
I think God already answered their prayers.
I want the person who will say which prayer should be answered. How can you say God answered their prayer?
Actually, is the shark prayer that God will answer. Why? Because the shark believed that there's abundance in life already. So it's actually specific. This is what I want, and he claimed it before going out.
See, he has changed his answer. He said, yes. You see? And you wanted me to allow you to talk. Which one? You have one, right?
Yeah, I should answer the prayer of the tilapia. Why? Because in answering the tilapia's prayer by ordering the step, he's answering the shark's prayer as well.
Who has their own special, unique reason? Yes. Stand up.
Yeah, I think the prayer of the shark will be answered.
Why?
Fine, because you said something earlier, and I'm trying to relate it with that. You said energy flows in the direction of focus. Now he's focused on what he wants. Even if there is abundance of different species of tilapias, he's specific, and it says, okay, this is what I want. So being specific, you can't just tell God, God, help me. Help you on what?
Okay.
That's it.
All right. I'd like to stop here after I take this one. Quickly.
I think it's the tilapia. Because it's helpless. And it's what?
It's weak and helpless.
It's helpless. It's helpless. It's what it cannot do for itself that is asking God to do for it.
I thought we had pastors here now. Here theological arguments. Anyway. Something very interesting is happening, ladies and gentlemen. In the big mighty ocean, every time a shark is born, the shark has to learn how to survive in the ocean. Remember we said everything is what? Learned. It learns by going to the school of sharkology, where it will learn how to be a sharkity bobo. It will learn how to swim against the tide, learn how to avoid dangerous poisonous seaweeds, learn how to do a lot of things, including identifying the potential tilapias that are not dangerous and have sharp bones, avoid some parts of the ocean where the currents are high and all of that. It learns so many things, including the art of identifying the enemy or dangerous grass and fishermen. It learns a lot, and you know, it's like doing chemistry, physics, and all these things. It learns different subjects in the course called sharkology. One of the things the shark must learn of necessity is he must do a course called Swimming 101. Standard. Somebody say basic. Basic. Swimming 101. In order for the shark to eat, the shark must learn how to swim to escape from fishermen and to also pursue tilapias. Swimming is essential. Basic. When you come to the tilapia is born. It learns how to be a successful tilapia. It goes to read a course called tilapiology. In tilapiology, you learn all kinds of things, identifying food suitable for tilapias, ensuring this is the seaweed you don't eat is dangerous. This one is okay. These are the areas when you start seeing this kind of thing, sharks are in this area. Avoid it and all of that. The tilapia must also read a course in all of its learning called Swimming 101. At the end of, ladies and gentlemen, let me summarize this. None of these two fishes' prayers would be answered. It's which fish knows how to swim better in their training in Swimming 101. That is the one that would survive and that will thrive. And we human beings are like that. We went to school, we learned so much to know how to succeed. But if success were to be attributable to only the things we learned in school, who would have been the most successful or the wealthiest people on the planet if wealth was a measure of success? Who would be the wealthiest if it was because of school? Professors and some of the PhD holders, right? But are they? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Think about that. Then we went, today we're learning all kinds of things. So IQ in school didn't work. We're learning all kinds of things, including emotional quotient now. So if you can learn how to relate with people, learn behavioral sciences, learn all of these things, we'll be able to survive. We'll be able to thrive better. We'll establish rapport. We'll do a lot of things. And people have learned how to relate with people. And people have learned so much, and yet that is not happening. What else? What do we need to do? What is going on? People have gone and they have learned how to hunt, how to farm, have learned how to mine, learn how to do all kinds of things. And it seems like the fishes have a common course called Swimming 101. We learn so much about life, but there's one thing we really hardly learned about. And as we're studying here this weekend, we saw that 7% of success with anything has to do with our what? Psychology. Psychology. One of the things that we hardly ever learn, because if people really learn them in school, and you thought they really learned about them, the most successful people with the subject I'm about to talk to you about would be accountants and financial experts. Yet, I read a book years ago that said the people who work on, what do you call them now? Where the stock exchange is. Wall Street. They go to Wall Street on trains and in taxis and give advice to people who come to their office in Chevrolets and in Jaguars. Think about that. You go to work by train but give advice to people who come looking very exquisite. What's going on? something is wrong. And many of us have heard this issue, whole talk about money and how to survive with money. Our parents didn't teach us about money. Once they taught us anything, remember we were learning. You cannot not learn. Somebody say that. So all that we're learning about money, also with me, is that we were learning about money and its scarcity, not about abundance. We're learning about money and its what? Scarcity. Money and all its problems. Money and how we cannot deserve it. We don't deserve it. Money and all that it will do. But a lot of people, when you see them, I talked about security yesterday, and when money comes, the issue or topic of money comes, our psychology, most of us around money is security. There's another paradigm around money. Somebody say freedom. Come on, say freedom. And we are not really used to the concept of freedom. Even then, when we start a business or we start some network marketing stuff and we tell people we're pursuing financial freedom, we say it here intellectually, but we don't know it here in the heart. Why? Because we don't understand that paradigm. We do not walk in the paradigm, and that paradigm is not our reality. We don't understand that. Freedom is when you have money coming into your hands without you having to work. And it's coming so passively, because you have done all the work in the past, and now you have time not to work anymore, but you have time to be family, with the people you care, with the projects you care, with all of the things that you want to do with your life. You want to travel the world. You want to get out there and set up foundations. You want to spend money Bill Gates is doing. Creating solutions for HIV, for typhoid, for malaria, for all of those kinds of things. He gave several millions in the last few weeks towards HIV research. How much is my father giving towards that research? I don't know. 0, likely. Freedom. And you saw a question earlier on the slide that said that there's a lot that we would love to do with our lives if we earn enough money passively to take care of all our expenses. I am not about to do a class with you to show how to get, but I'm trying to point to you something we all didn't learn. That the wealthiest people in the world earn enough money without having to work for it because they had already done the work and they set up a system and a structure. Somebody say system and structure. They have an understanding that because they have done that already, now they can dedicate their time to what they really want. Bill Gates was not born to set up Microsoft. Bill Gates wasn't born to be one of the wealthiest people in the world. I heard Jeff Bezos have overtaken him again, right? Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, the other day I saw his net worth is now about $100 billion. No rich man in recent history, recorded history, has had that record. Not Bill Gates, not anybody. $100 billion. But Bill Gates is a very good example because he's been very consistent. He didn't start up because of Microsoft. When Bill Gates had set up Microsoft, took years, and assumed the zenith, the top, he resigned. And he started what he was born to do. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation caters for all kinds of causes around the world today. They've raised an array of multi-billionaires around the world that challenges them to take their money to spend it towards worthy causes without waste because they trust them. For 15 years, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett were friends. When Warren Buffett was sure that this guy is trustworthy, he gave Bill Gates his first donation towards the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. What is it about this guy that makes other people trust him? A few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I trusted somebody to receive money on my behalf in a business. He received about 8-point-something million. As I speak to you, I haven't seen him. He has disappeared. I have managed to get 4 million from him. This has nothing to do with training. Most of my income doesn't come from training. Okay? Most. The money came. I collected 4 million. The 4.2 I haven't seen. I'm traveling this week to find a way. I'm not sure he's watching this one. I'm coming for you. What's my point? What is lack of money preventing you from doing? Let me ask the question another way. If you had money and you had all that you needed, you didn't have to earn money any other day, and tomorrow morning, Monday morning, because some of you are going to go to work tomorrow because there is no choice. If you had a choice, you wouldn't go to that office. Do I have a witness? Talk to me, somebody. If you had money and money was not an issue in your life, what would you be doing tomorrow? What would you be doing this week? Where would you rather be? What would you be engaged in? If all of your needs were taken care of, what would you need money for? I like to have 2 or 3 quick answers. What would you need money for? Be specific. Tell me what you want to do with it. Tell me what you'll be doing with it. Anybody? Yes, ma'am. Quickly. Sit down and tell me.
I want to create jobs.
Want to create jobs? How?
I have a school inside of me. I have a hospital inside of me. And I want to create a recreation center.
So you see, people say, if I had money, this is what I would do. I mean, I don't have money now, so I'm not. Are you doing that right now?
No.
No. So what are you doing right now? I'm an accountant at this company. I have to go grind my head off. I have to go hustle. I have to go do that. I have to go, and all of that is not taking me into this place. If I really had everything I want, I won't be doing what I'm doing. I'll be doing something else. That's my life's purpose. Bill Gates found out that Microsoft was only a means to an end. Microsoft was not it. And when that time came, notice when he started to do Microsoft and he resigned, he actually became wealthier. How can you resign from a venture you started? Years later, you are still one of the wealthiest people in the world. How does that happen? Because he found a cause. Like, I want to do this. Who else? What would you do? What would you do with your time? If money was not a problem. Yes, ma'am. Shout it out from there. To do what exactly? Education. Is it a particular kind of school? Okay, is it a particular kind of secondary school you have in mind? Or the kind that the government runs in Lagos State? See, so I need you to be specific. Every time life asks you a question, life wants you to be specific. The unconscious mind wants specific instruction. Did I say that? Absolutely. Thank you. What else? What would you do? What, anybody here? What would you do? You guys, if you had money enough, you don't know what to do. Maybe that's why money is not coming to you.
I would buy
money hates bad masters. Money hates bad masters. Money can be a dangerous servant. Once you don't have clarity with what you do with it, it runs away from you. Maybe that's why you don't have it. You don't know clearly what you're going to do with it. What would you do if money was not a problem? Yes, sir.
Get my hands into assisting widows. The widows.
Specifically widows. Was your mom a widow? Is she a widow? Okay.
I have this inner side of me that wants to see how I can help them. Sometimes I do that in my little way now.
But why is that not happen now? Why? Because I have to earn an income. Okay, when you ask people, you have the time you ask people, you hear all kinds of answers, an array of answers. But this is what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Once you are in that position where you are not able to do this, what happens is like you are in prison. Money is preventing you from going as far as you want to. I'd like you to imagine all the things you would love to do that money is holding you back from. What would you really love to do? That's when you hear people say, I'll travel the world. Who would love to do that? But I asked you, you didn't stay. I like to go on vacations. I like to be at the Maldives once in 6 months. I like to go to Hawaii. Who would like to be in Hawaii? I was at a meeting like this less than 8 years ago. And I wanted to be in Hawaii. This year, the dream came to pass. It came to pass before I remembered that I had set that goal. I was in Hawaii for 10 days with an amazing group of people from Australia. Okay? Larry said he got the car before he realized he had set the goal. How many of you would love to be surprised? Yeah. Look at your neighbor and say, surprise yourself today. What would you really, 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 really want to do? Somebody says, I'd love to build a home for girls who are abused. Somebody say, I love to, Miss Mr. Goodness has a passion for women who are suffering. What would you really want to do if money was not a problem? What would you spend your time doing? Who would you love to connect with? Some people would love to just go around the world with their kids and spend time, quality time with them. Because every day they are grinding their head off in Lagos traffic. Trying to go to the island, mainland, Lagos, Ikeja, Badagry, whatever. Trying to earn a living. Because we all were born with a psychology that we inherited and learned all along the way. And this psychology does not promote freedom. It doesn't promote freedom in anything, especially freedom financially. Freedom entails you have time. Time for what? Because time is the most precious. Time when you are a job, the hours of work is being exchanged for some pay that has been estimated as compensation for the hours of the day. So 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 2 million. What is going on is you are being compensated for your time. And when that is taken care of and you are stored up, see, it says, get up, you sluggard. Huh? What is it? Go to the ants, you sluggard, and learn of its ways. The ant, having no commander or ruler, gathers its harvest. When? In the summer. It gathers its harvest when it's time for harvest. A time will come when gathering cannot happen. And for here, you have been at the zenith of your gathering years, but rather than gathering, you are scattering. What I see happen with a lot of people is, go ahead. What I see happen with a lot of people is I see them, they want to start a life. They don't know what their life is about. They don't know anything about the concept of freedom. They don't understand what problem they want to solve, but they want money. So we happen as an accident, and somewhere in the course of our journey, we're wondering what we really need money for. That's where you hear somebody saying, if I can just get one of Dangote's truck, I am settled for life. Have you heard that before? This Lakija woman. If I can just have just one of her offices, I'm settled. If you are settled for life with one of Dangote's trucks, why is Dangote not okay with 100 trucks? Because when there is a flood disaster, nobody is going to call you. And the people will call Dangote. When there is a fire disaster in a market in Kano, nobody is going to call you. Somebody is going to call Dangote. When there's disaster in the northeast, nobody can trust you with money, but Dangote can be trusted. Because at the end of the day, it is about understanding purpose. Somebody say purpose. Because when you begin to say, if I have time, I will go and write books. If I have right time, I like to start a preschool where kids can come to and learn. If I have time, I'll start a football academy. If I have time, I'll groom beauty queens so that they don't have to sleep with anyone in order to get the kind of outcomes and the self-esteem and the self-worth that they can have. If I have all the money I need, I'll set up this and I'll set up that. I'll travel here, I'll travel this, I'll do this. Missionaries will no longer need to beg or suffer. If I have this, I'll sponsor the ministry of my man of God. If I had money, I'll do this and I'll do that. Why are you unable to do it? Because foundationally, we were never taught or shown how to understand money. Let me take you a little bit back in history. How many of you remember black Americans were moved here? Our great-grandfather was moved from Africa. I was in Gambia a few weeks ago. And I went to the place of birth of Kunta Kinte. And I was hearing the story of Kunta Kinte and how he was captured a few days after they did the, what's that thing? When they, circumcision. After he was circumcised, he was one of the few kids who didn't cry. And then the black the American merchants were coming for slaves. They always didn't get the slaves they wanted. So the chiefs were giving them prisoners. After a while, the prisoners and the bad eggs in the society were no longer enough. They started raiding the people, capturing anyone that they could capture. And they would take him to an island that we went to by boat, and I saw sharks and all kinds of things. You couldn't, if you were taken to that island, you were gone. That island was a place for preparation of slaves before the big ship came once in a month or twice in a month. And they shipped them off to the Americas. Pregnant women were more expensive slaves because that meant 2 for 1. There was a lot happening. I saw the story, I nearly cried. I saw how they were loaded and everything. Now, as those people got there, their demands became high because the whites were cultivating sugarcane, cotton, and other things. Those areas, they were called the New World. Anybody read that in history before? They were called what? The New World. The great plantations were being planted. They were cultivating. The world had begun to experience certain levels of prosperity. The richest people were those who had hectares and hectares, and acres of farmlands. Once you came, the slave master entrusted a group of slaves in the hand of one slave who was like a supervisor, who supervised other slave. Harvest increased. Productivity doubled. Soon enough, the slave trader discovered something. That as he was working so hard, he didn't have time for leisure anymore, time for rest anymore. As he was working so hard, the slave master discovered that he needed to rest. He needed to go play golf. He needed to go do other things. He needed to go recreate and think about how to multiply the farms. He needed to go empower himself. But he didn't have the time. He developed a system. Once he saw the slaves together, he identified one that had leadership qualities. And that one, whether he was big enough or smart enough, or there was something that gave him an edge, he called him aside. He said, I'm going to favor you. I'm going to travel. When I come back, we produce 15 bags of cotton every month. If you ensure we produce 16 and not 15, I'm going to reward you. He travels. He gives him the most powerful weapon he has, a whip and a gun. These slaves begin to brag to the other slaves. Do you know who I am? I am not a slave. I have a new title. I am the chief slave. Have you seen people before? Look, I'm not one of you guys. I'm the managing director. I'm a chief, but I'm still a slave. Foundation of today, what we call modern day prosperity. You are slave. They begin to walk. They begin to walk. He beats them, whips them into submission. The master returns. The harvest is 17 bags, not 16. The master shouts in excitement. He takes him, gives him a little quarters called the boys' quarters, where he now takes some of the black slaves that are beautiful, cute women, and he gives him to spend some spare time with them. And then he gives him one of his horses, which today you will call cars, beginning to lay the foundation in the industrial age for fringe benefits. Everything that you are seeing happen today didn't start today. And then he says, "See, I'm not like one of you slaves. Not only am I a head slave, I stay in the boys' quarters and I earn fringe benefits. My pay is not like your pay. Yeah, I know we're slaves, but hey, I'm a chief slave." Soon enough, the harvest doubled. 30 bags from this slave. So he brought other slaves and he said, you, this head slave, you're going to be his assistant. He's the chief slave, you are the slave 1, slave 2, slave 3. There's 1 added to your name, but your name is still slave. And that continues and continues and continues. Okay? If you study black American history, you'll find this very, very interesting. I'm giving you an analogy of what happened. After a while, production doubled. The white farmer could be away for longer periods. What was he doing? He was resting. Because his power was not in the whips and the guns. He had much more power than the slaves. One day, he calls the big old slave. He says, "You've doubled my harvest. I don't just want to give you a horse, a house, and some deputies. I don't want to just give you some woman to spend some spare time with." Notice that the more reward you got, we began to lay foundations for the more women he can have access to. And more time to chill. Now, I'm going to give you my secret. See, over these last 2 years, I've trusted you. My farms have grown. I've even gone to set up other farms. I'm going to make you in charge of 2 or 3 of them. I want to make you like me. And I'll share with you my secret. One of the things I'll share with you, I want you to understand, I'll share with you how to read and write. Somebody say read and write. Share with you how to read and to write. That's my secret. So say A, look at it. B, C, Eze went to school. See what's going on? I'm teaching you. This is what made me say I'm going to go read more. I go away, he reads, he starts to talk to the slaves. He said, look, I'm not like you guys. I have a PhD. I can read and write. I have a master's degree. I have a first degree. But here's the point. I told him stop. He thought I was telling him the truth. Truth is, I didn't give him all of my secret. My real secret is reading and writing. But the real deeper secret is I didn't teach him how to think and solve problems. The only thought I laid for him to learn is how to think and multiply my harvest, not how to think for himself. And he goes and is bragging and telling everybody, today that has been modernized. Today the slave is working for Mobile. He's working for CBN. Oh, today the slave is working for MTN. Today the slave is working for whatever. The education that I was giving him here, I have now discovered that I need to have a conglomerate around the world. So I won't provide the education just for him. I'll build a system called schools. Somebody say schools. The curriculum I would ensure would not have anything in there that will enable all of them slaves to think. Because see, I'm going to be having now factories. They'll be called... Do you know that if anybody here watched The Men Who Built America, that documentary, anybody here? You would have discovered that the entire oil companies are in the hands of 3 or 4 oil owners. You think they are different names? No. Most belong to the same person. The large hotel conglomerates. The large Fortune 500 companies. Soon enough, we're discovering that if you wanted to understand what's going on, real medicine was not the medicine that you have now with the pharmacies and with all of these hospitals. Medicine was what today we refer to as alternative medicine. Medicine was produced from plants and trees and roots, which made our great-grandparents live longer than we're living today. By the way, they lived in villages and in hamlets and in rural areas. They ate from natural organic sources. Something like marijuana was not abused. It was being used legally. I don't smoke cigarette. I don't smoke marijuana, so I'm not promoting that. But some people had just found out that, look, I have a friend, even here in Lagos, and they grew up in their family, they used to cook it like soup. They would eat it, not smoke it. That marijuana originally was medicine, and today in certain states in America has been legalized. They call it medical marijuana, right? Now, but it's the abuse that became the problem. Cocaine was the painkiller, not something to be abused. Morphine today is still being prescribed for people in intense pain. The pharmaceutical industry around the world became a mafia that determined what was legal. They began to sponsor the food and drug, whatever of America. They began to sponsor researches in universities and powerful places that declared that one day the back of tomatoes are good for the eyes. The next day, another research will come. The back of tomatoes are bad for the eyes. Another day, you see, this one is good for the nose. Another school will say, no, it's not good for the nose. One day, are you sick and tired of all of these findings coming up literally every day and every moment and every week and every time? Because there's some conflict of interest happening there. I know some people call it conspiracy theories, but as I begin to delve into this in the last few years, 4, 5, 6 years, I noticed that doctors in the US who believed in all of this started disappearing mysteriously. They started getting killed. One of them was killed last year, including one black man who claimed that the FDA will never give you approval for whatever it is your finding is, because the mafia of the pharmaceutical industry insists that you must use their chemical-driven solutions, by the way, that will kill you, make you sick, where you go to the hospitals that they own and get insurance that they give you, and all of this controlled by one person. It started on the slave farm. These people are all going to work. We transported from the slave farms. Slave farms now became factories where we produce things en mass. With Henry Ford came the invention of the assembly line. Now, let me tell you why this is important. Does this mean people cannot work? No. The beginning with the end in mind is what I am talking about. That the capitalist masters gave us education that was supposed to make us slaves on the farm. When the farms changed and we moved into industries, the education was barely enough to make us run the machines, not to own the factories. Are you wondering why innovation and thinking has been excluded from our school curriculum? Because it's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be for the slaves who run the industrial age. Earlier today I told you that most of our education was meant for the industrial age, so that we can run industries in the factories. So what's going on? People are getting an education that is not appropriate for their generation to solve problems. Today, the answer that you will give is to the question, what problem can you solve? That's why the graduate comes, you ask, what problem can you solve? And he says, I have a degree in accounting. What problem can you do for that? Have you researched our organization and find out why we have given the vacancy? No, I have a degree in this. Have you checked what problems we advertise? The history of this organization and what we are trying to solve? No, I have a degree. I have a HND. That's all the business. I have the qualification that you don't ask them, they bring out. So you see our CVs are our sources for freedom. So CVs are exaggerated. People lie about them. People put things that are not true. Because we have a system that we have inherited that says, go to school. Get a good degree. The good degree will give you a good job. The good job will give you a good life. You get married to a good spouse. You work for 35 good years. And when we're tired, they've sucked you dry. Huh? I worked for MTN for 4 years. I became friends with the son of the vice chairman, Sani Bello, Colonel Sani Bello. One of his sons became my friend. And each time this boy, I was listening to him, talking to me. Where are you going to? Suleiman. He says, I'm off to Italy. With the slave mentality I grew up on, the one that says, my father is the cause of my problem, I said, are you going to do any of your fathers? Because I believe it was their father that made them prosper. Are you going to attend to one of your fathers? He said, no. I have a particular business. And I was older than him. Are you going to, where are you? In UK. What are you going? Oh, your father sent you? No. I have some people I met some months ago at the Argungu Fishing Festival. Huh? Are you good? After a while, I started asking myself, this guy's father owns MTN, partly. Me, I'm working for them. He's thinking different from me. Me, I'm thinking of rising through the ranks. He is not thinking of joining MTN. What am I doing? I started to pay attention. Somebody say, pay attention. I noticed that this boy had what I didn't have, and it was freedom. I started to think. 2008, I put in my resignation letter, and I resigned. I didn't have any plan for where I was headed. I knew I had some monies in savings. It was those monies in savings, I wanted to start a new business, that I stumbled on NLP, and somebody was telling me, take the money and pay for NLP. Beware any. My savings, new direction, put it NLP. What did they do you? Reluctantly, I did. Today, I can't tell you the number of people that has liberated because it connected me with where I was born. I discovered something. Who wants freedom in this place? Say I. Let me show you a few thoughts quickly. when you come to the Wealth Acceleration Bootcamp, there are things I'd like to see you. Can I just run through this PowerPoint so that I can share all of my thoughts there? Is it okay? Is it okay? Good. 3 M's of money. The people who are really going to be successful, they understand the psychology about around money, is that you have to understand how to what? Come on, everybody, how to what? Make money. Number 2. Number 3. But remember that no, it's not about make money multiply. It's your relationship with money. Because listen to me. Oga, go back so that they don't copy. Go back to the next page, the other page. My wife and I went to we saw a woman who is like Mrs. Nikki Ogunlesi. And I listened to a bit of her story and how her mom inspired her. And I was really moved. I met this woman. She was a class teacher in Delta State. Today she owns a big hotel conglomerate in Jos called HBC Resort. HBC is Healthy Body Clinic. I think they do the kind of thing that you said. You know, my wife and I met with her. The people you said you want my wife to meet in Ikeja, you know, they do detox and those kinds of things. You know, and she started as a class teacher in Delta State. My wife and I were there in the woman's hotel, and we're talking with her. I said, Madam, how did you start? She looks like you, ma. I don't know. Are you from Delta State? Are you from Delta State? Yes. She looks like you. I don't know, for some reason. You know. Ko matana. Swing kamako. Haka. So, what happened? I asked the woman, how did you get here? The woman said to me, I was a class teacher. I used to save money. One day my savings gathered to 2,800 naira. I decided that I needed to do one extra thing. So I started to do puff puff and chin chin as a classroom teacher. And one day it grew and grew and grew. The puff puff and chin chin started to sell so well. I was making more than a classroom teacher. I realized, no, I have more of a passion towards catering and cooking. Let me face this one. I resigned from teaching. I started doing this small. It grew. Some Oyibos from Ibadan who liked my cooking as they were walking around that Delta, they say, can you come and doing some work for us in Delta? I went, did some in Ibadan. I went, started doing some work with them. Then they were moved to Kano where they had a bigger place to do. And he went to Kano, she was doing bigger stuff for them, blah, blah, blah. One day she realized, you know, my passion is really to have my place where people can come and take care of their body and their health wholly. And she went to Jos, got a piece of land, rented a place, and she started to build this, blah, 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 blah. Today, she's moved, she's had a bigger structure, bigger place. I one day want to take some of you to a retreat there for 1 week where you are taking care of body, soul, and spirit. Mind, body, and soul. You are taking care of. You grow, you learn by force. Just is safe. Don't believe you read in Punch and newspapers. Just again. 2,800 naira. Is there anybody here who has had 2,800 naira before? Let me see by show of hands. No, let me see in case. Have you ever had 2,800? Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. 2,800. This woman has business worth millions and millions and millions. Do me a favor quickly, please. Turn around, look at your neighbor. Ask them, where's your 2,800 naira? You don't chop them. Sugar cane. Sweet. Ice cream. Chicken. People have money and their body starts to shake. They have to spend. I told you yesterday also, we are wired to be spenders. Poor people, spenders, wasters. Most of us, our time is coming against the end of the year. The God of 11th hour, we are begging him to show up for us. We are giving him all kinds of promises of seed and all kinds of promises. It's the 11th hour. He will show up. What are you looking for God from this end of the year that he has not given you before? He gave you that 2,100, you blew it. When Ms. Ogulesi was telling me how she started, I was like, what? She saved so much. She told her mom, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And her mom supported her. That support she got, all of us have gotten this support. It wasn't millions and millions, was it, ma'am? How much did you say it was? Say it again. She owns Rough and Tumble. Have you heard Rough and Tumble before? Rough and Tumble started with 3,000.
No. My women's clothing business.
Yeah, but that's where it started.
Yes.
That's where it started. 3,400 naira. Ask your neighbor, where is your own? Don't chop them. Chop them, clean mouth. Chop them, clean mouth. You know why? Our parents taught us to chop it. Just chop it. Say, this world is not our home. We're just passing by. Nobody knows tomorrow. Eh? It's what you eat that you fly with. What again did you hear? Now the person where they are alive, they chop. You are here today, you may not be there tomorrow. Eh? You walk well, you chop well. Eh? Now where you they walk, now you they chop. Now they make them, they call them workshop. Nigerians. Are those limiting beliefs or empowering beliefs? And they create limiting decisions. Somebody lifts up their hand and say, I don't want any of that anymore. 3,400 naira. They multi-million-dollar business. And the world's currency is not naira. So when you say naira, before you go reach $1 million, you've done count 300 and something million naira. And Miss Ogunlesi just told me she has big plans for. I'm so proud of her. One, maybe because she's my client. Two, maybe because she believes in the NLP thing, and I'm talking about it, and people all over Nigeria are hearing now. She's on a journey to engage in one of the biggest transition garment making has seen anywhere in the world. If somebody at that level is learning how to think, why don't they chop your 3,400 repeatedly? I don't know what to say. She said, I am moving away from that. I'm creating a succession plan. I am doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. I don't want to give away all her secret. But she's moving on to bigger things. Part of it is to work and connect with women. And give. And give. Isn't that like what Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is doing? That when your work, it begins to give. This year, it will soon be crossover night. You did it last year. This year is your year. You have a long list of prayer requests. Which one has not been done to you before? You know what we are? We are spenders and wasters. If you read the accounts of the talent, it said each man was given according to his own ability. You have an ability. You are given according to your ability. If you are a spender, it will not come to you. Because at the end of that chapter in Matthew, I think Matthew 25, you would discover that at the end of the day, and I think this is part of what has caused people to ask a lot of questions in church today. At the end, he said, Master, when did I see you that I didn't do this for this? He said, I was in prison, you visited. I was naked. I was hungry. As much as you do to this, my brother, you've done it unto me. That's the purpose of wealth. To help your neighbor. When he was going to teach us about who your neighbor is, he broke the barriers of theology and religion and said, your neighbor was that Samaritan. Was a good neighbor. Because that's what it's all about. Suni told us about the neurological levels of change. Where at the top there is what? Purpose. Did you see that? If you understand the purpose for wealth, that's why I'm starting from here. Because this is what we're doing at Wealth Acceleration Bootcamp partly. If you understand the purpose of wealth, everything around your life will change. Your skills will change. Environment will change. But some of you, how you want to change wealth is change environment. You move from Mushin by force. You go and rent a house in Lekki. Small time, Mushin will pull you back. Then when you hear there's flood in Lekki, you say, hey, before Uncle. Oh, most of the people shouting Lekki people flood. It's because they can't afford it. They would have been there. And they are projecting, by the way. They are not happy. They wish they are the ones who were there. I don't live in Lekki. But I had a heart for them when I heard that happen. You want to know poor people? Let misfortune happen to others. We know this, the source of wealth is wrong. That's why. That's a poor man talking. Projecting. God don't catch them. things were coming out from people. I'm like, hey, what's this? No, Godson. Begins to happen. What do you need to know? The end of the year comes, Nigeria says, Father, do this for me, do this for me, do this. And God is saying, but I did it for you last year. I did it for you last year. He said a time came when they needed to come and do accounts, if you read the Message Bible. And they came to give accounts. To this one, he said, you have done well. Take double of what you did. To this one, that the real journey of wealth, true wealth, is an understanding of faithfulness. Once the woman, Syrophoenician woman, said to him, I know I don't deserve for your healing. It's for the people of Israel. But even the dogs who stay around the table, they eat from the crumbs. She was operating a principle that the master could not deny. He said to her, I have not seen this kind of faith, even in the whole of Israel. Once you operate the principle and the law of faithfulness, God doesn't care. Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Chinese, whatever. Boom! He hits you with supplies. Opens the windows of heaven. These things for you to happen. Because it's not just about finances, it's about faithfulness. People come to our training, they say, you are being harsh on us. I say, because we're teaching you to be faithful. The biggest with is time. You're waster of time. We need to put you on the straight and narrow so that you can begin to get the patterns destroyed and get the kinds of rewards you've never gotten before. Waster. You come again, Father, next year, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. The first time I heard a man I respect, he said, I have not prayed for money in a long time. I didn't believe it. I thought it was pride. Until I realized, I've also not prayed for money in a long time. Like, give me money for this. Give me money. Somebody says, but he said we should pray for all things. No. You have to pray the law properly. So I ask for wisdom to meet my clients. I don't ask for money. I ask for wisdom to negotiate well. I ask for the man's heart to be touched so he can do business with me. Do you understand? I don't ask for money. Give me money. Give me money. There are things in order. Paul said that these hands of mine have taken care of all that I have needed. He was an apostle. He could have asked for all the money to rain from heaven. He didn't. He was a tent maker. He understood the principle of whatever. Seed time and harvest. Words are seeds. Thoughts are the most important seeds in the world. Sow a thought, you reap an action. You reap a harvest. Words are seeds. Jobs are seeds. Work is a seed. There are thousands and thousands of categories of seeds. Money is only one small kind of seed. Seed. Your life is a seed. The paradigms that are changing this weekend at Push, seeds have been planted in you. Go and harvest. It's not about carrying something in an envelope. I've done that. It could be part of it, but it's not a whole chunk part of it, as we've been told, ladies and gentlemen. There's a balance with everything. I also don't believe that if you don't agree with preaching, you have to start insulting people. No, that's very not African. That's very disrespectful. You don't have to start insulting people because you found this new revelation. Make money, multiply money, manage money. Okay? 3 M's of money. Is that important? Now, let's go back. I have a thought I'd like to share with you. Women, when they are passing that monthly flow, what's it called again? Their period. They are menstruating. In English, they say they are what? They are hemorrhaging. What if a woman continues to pass blood for 2 weeks? She'll become very weak. What if it continues for 2 months? What will happen? The reason why Mrs. Ogunlesi turned 3,400 into rough and tumble, and you didn't turn your own into, it's because you are like the woman menstruating non-stop, the woman with the issue of blood. You are hemorrhaging financially. Spenders, experts. Once money come, you want to spend. You want to spend. Somebody said that earlier, that I make a lot of money, I don't do something. Spend, 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 like a demon. You want to spend, you want to spend, you want to spend, you want to spend, because you saw your parents spending. Father, we went to the bank, removed all the money, we blew it. Psh! People were always from the village waiting. Some not for the solution they came with from the village to be solved, but for transport to go back. They were in a queue. And they were waiting 2-3 months. Am I speaking your language, sir? I'm knocking on your address too. Yes. I know some for me. God, but people are honest. Hemorrhaging financially. Hemorrhaging financially. When you are hemorrhaging, it means that you are losing money, or thieves are stealing your money. And what's really affecting most of us is that thieves have been stealing our wealth. And the person who steals your money the most is you. And you need to protect your money from yourself. The second group of people that steal your money is who? Family and friends. We can't say no to family and friends. Say, that's why we sent you to school. You want to marry our brother. Were you there when we were training him? Eh? The African thing, Nigeria. Then, number 3 people who steal our money are fraudsters. And who? Thieves. And the reason why fraudsters and thieves rape us and steal our money is because we are ignorant. Some people who have gone into some business they call network marketing, and they were Ponzi's and pyramids. And the MMKs. You know the MMKs? How many of you know MMK? Yeah, I see they know. Which country are you in again? It's MMK. Just, okay. Protect your money from yourself, so you can need to build your vision and your imagination around how to create more wealth. Invest in yourself. Every money that you put in properties, the property can get burned. Put your money in cars. Cars can be stolen. The year of manufacturing will pass. Huh? If you put your money in stocks, stocks can crash. Every kind of thing you think about can go. One of the first places you want to begin to do what we call investment is in self. Somebody, I like to hear you say, I want to invest in myself. You are the number 1 asset in the world. Did you hear that? You are your number 1 asset in the world. If you do not change your life, go and do any money-making training. The same you that has crashed and spent and wasted money in the past, you crash and spend and waste this one. Protect your money from yourself. Protect your money from family and what? Friends. Most Nigerian businesses don't go beyond foundation level. Families who demand, give us, give us, give us. If you don't give, you go here. But those who understand this know that with family, one of the best things you can do is get the ability. My wife calls it the ability to say no. I don't have. No, I don't have doesn't say I don't have it now. I mean, it doesn't say I don't have it. It says the one I have is not for that, for the burial. The one I have is to build my Microsoft. Bill Gates built his Microsoft. If Bill Gates was in Nigeria, Microsoft would never have happened because family and friends would have chopped it. You see, but, see, I tell people, if you don't give family and friends money, they'll be upset with you. They'll be angry. They won't talk with you. 16 years later, let them see a crowd of dust coming towards your village. 16 trucks, 1 cement, 2 rappers, 4. How many of you know they welcome you with dancing and singing? Plus give you how many traditional titles? Will they forgive you? Even though we know this, why then are we still unable to give our money to family? I mean, to say no to family. Because we have become, somebody say we have become. And you need to unbecome who you have become. you need to understand the psychology behind real wealth. Once you just want to take care of your family, you are selfish. When you thought that not taking care of family is selfish, taking care of your family too early is selfish. You know why? Yes, let me tell you why. You were supposed to build this water producing factory. And this water producing factory will create that. What did he say? You create these jobs and blah, blah, blah for people. And this will help people pay medical bills. It will help some doctors provide for their families. It will help this and this and this and that. She has a global health facility in mind. But the money keeps going to your family because you can't say no. The money keeps going to your family. You can't say, how many of you know the family is like a well? The request will never stop. Come on, stop. Once you have the ability and the discipline to say no to them, you are building this. That way, these same family members that are upset with you for a few years later will benefit from all that will come to you from that hospital. But that wealth was not supposed to take care of only your family. It was supposed to take care of multiples of families elsewhere in the world. That way you can support many, 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 many more families. Every time you say yes to your family, you are making sure 10 other families die. Every time you say yes to your family, you are ensuring many other families die. Should you therefore not support family? No. You can budget. You can do what? This month, this year, this now I'm working on a project. This is what I can do. I have a bigger project. I'll be of benefit to you guys later. But for now, manage this. Would a few people die, get upset, get sick, happen, blah, blah, blah. In view of the big picture, ladies and gentlemen, many of us do not know this. We have saved a few family members and killed industries. Saved a few family members and killed plantations. Saved a few family members and killed a lot of projects that would have saved the world. A lot of schools that would have made kids literate. A lot of stuff that would have changed the world. Because you couldn't say no. I don't have. No, I don't have means I don't have for this thing you ask. I have it, oh, but it's for something else. So no, I don't have. This is why poor people believe that rich people are stingy. Rich people know that rich people are generous. They are not generous to themselves. Ma'am, where do you live? Yes. Who's your landlord? Okay, who else lives in a rented house here? Let me see your hands up. Honestly. Put your hands down. Let me show you a dimension and a paradigm you've never thought about. The rich man woke up one day. He had a motive. I realized that I have to produce value if I want to exchange money to get more money. But more than that, there are people who will not be able to build their house in Surulere. So I know I've built my house. But instead of chopping the rest of this money, let me create more money by solving other people's problems in Surulere and build houses for them to stay in. I'm not that stingy. I'm not that useless. I'm not that selfish. Somebody may not be able to build a house in Surulere, but they want to live in Surulere. So I build my house in Surulere, and they can come and live in the house. How stingy is that? No, think. Don't close your mind. How stingy is that? Have you ever thought like that before? No. Because poverty will not let us think like that. Say, give us, let us chop. Okay, we can wash her now. We can wash her. Come, let's waste it. Go wash. We're always washing things. Go wash them now. Go wash them. And you think you are coming for us to teach you about Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad? A lot of that makes sense, yes. But we have read it. How come we are still not living it when we claim we know it? An asset is anything that brings money into your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money away from you. And yet, I've seen the best speakers around here. There's best speakers in Lagos. Some of the best of them that I've seen. The only thing I see around them are liabilities. Bigger and bigger cars. And bigger and bigger and bigger cars. And they earn more respect. And bigger liabilities. And they earn more respect. They don't have a litany of properties, choice properties where tenants are living and bringing regular income. What if you have a house in Anambra where January rent is sent to you? Another house in Owerri February, rent is sent to you. Another house in Calabar, March, rent is sent to you. Every month of the year, something comes because you did that work long ago. And money keeps coming. And it doesn't have to be houses alone. It can be other sources of income. Maybe you've built your network marketing team. Do you know if you want to succeed in network marketing, you need at least 3 to 5 years to build a team? Did you know that? Did you learn that? How many network marketing books have you read? How much have you invested in knowing about this industry around the world? My wife told you how we have traveled around the world. It was me, I did it for like 1 or 2 years. I traveled. I didn't want to do small business. And I got in the business, I just said, I want to be a leader. I discovered quickly, if you want to succeed, you have to be a leader. Not those people who are going to say, when will they do another training for us? When will they, you are at effect, they should do. That's why when they end the game, they are helping us to grow our team. They are not giving us prospect. Am I speaking somebody's language? Oh, sorry. They are not helping us. Who is responsible? I. Protect your money from your family and friends from thieves and fraudsters. Understand what Ponzi schemes are? Pyramids are. Many people in Nigeria want to earn from where they didn't reap. Quick returns. I put money to, I get Shakabula tomorrow. And they call it investment. Do you know what investment is? Warren Buffett is one of the only true investors in the world. Started investing in his 60s. Still live in the same house they built that time. Still drives his own car in his 80s. I mean, you don't have to live as frugal as that. And that's what poor people don't know. Rich people are frugal, not stingy. Okay? A lot of us speakers, we just speak this thing called financial education. Anybody who is teaching you financial education, ask them for their number one source of income. If it's that training, something. The biggest pyramid scheme in the world is called JOB. Food for thought. Protect your money from fraudsters, from thieves. Protect your money from yourself. Now, at the Wealth Activation Bootcamp, we'll tell you how you steal your own money with your lack of discipline. How you don't understand that you're stealing your future. How you don't understand that you are compelled to create poverty, to look for poverty and to create it. OC. Wonder banks, investors, run away from them. All the investments, so-called. A few years ago, I understand that a company put together and announced vacancies, internal vacancies for some vacancy in their organization. Internal vacancy means only people working in the company can apply. On a Saturday when they went to get the interview, the whole Lagos had showed up. Internal vacancies. In fact, someone told me that the same company has closed today. Doesn't exist. Imagine the people who got the job that day or who were even in the company saying, hey, look at those people. We are safe and secure. Look at them. We share testimony in church. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Whoever got those jobs. And see, you heard this before. And most people have been raised with the mentality of job, whether it's just over broke or whatever you call it. The thing is that one is always going to be risky, that one source. That's why multiple streams are always better. One is risky. If my team and I ask everybody to leave this place and we cut off all the legs of the chairs you are sitting on, the chairs remain with only one leg, we actually come in. What would you call us? Wicked. And all of that. And many people, that's how they are. They are wicked, but they are wicked to themselves. They have one source of income because they learned that way from their parents, from their backgrounds. One source of income. One source. And you've probably seen this before. People who had one source of income in America years ago, they did a research. Out of 100 people that were surveyed from an early age of 25 to they were 65. At the time of retirement, of those 100 people, only 54% were dependent, meant they could depend on themselves for their survival. 16% were still working, 25% were dead, died from stress, died from all kinds of factors. In Nigeria, this statistic would have been much higher. True or true? 24% were dead, 5% were independent, only 1% were free financially. 1%. Here it's worse. Okay? And another statistic, 7% of people who had very good jobs said they disliked their job. Another survey, 38% said they hated their job. 25% said their number one cause of stress is what? Their job. Number one cause of stress, their job. 41% lived from month to month. Can't wait for the month to end. Another huge percentage, 43% said they were overworked. People who had so-called good jobs. 50% felt they were underpaid. 70% felt no motivation at all at their workplaces. Very interesting paradigms. Okay? And this is what makes people poor. How they are thinking and what they are saying to themselves regularly. I can't afford it. What if I lose? It's not possible. I am too busy working. Did you try to get somebody to come here and they told you they were too busy? Yeah, now you know why. They're very busy, like this man. Is he very busy? Where is he headed to? Very busy. Look at how rich people think, however. How can I afford it? How can I make it work? How can I afford Wealth Acceleration Bootcamp? How can I make these trainings work for me? Okay, rich people. Can this help me? Okay? So, I challenge people, and what we're going to be doing with one of my mentors at Wealth Acceleration Bootcamp is we're going to challenge you to begin to have an end in mind. If you went back to my slide, you should have noticed something. Every time sailors in those days, please turn up, go back from that page. All they were doing is copying and not listening to me. Yeah, thank you. Every time the sailors wanted to head out to sea, the wind that was blowing that day, and you know they had these masts. You know the masts, right? The wind that was blowing that day was not favorable wind. Favorable wind means that if they are going towards Warri, and this is not Warri, is south, the wind will be blowing north-south, east-west, or whatever. There is no day that the sailors ever hit the waters and the wind is just pushing their boat, shoo, going to direction. But there is something you may have heard of. It's called contrary winds. Have you heard that before? Your life has had a tumultuous experience because you've been encountering contrary winds. Sailors always experience contrary winds. But what they did was they set their sail. They set their sail and say, see, we're going to Escravos. No matter which wind is blowing in what direction that day, our sails will harvest these whole winds and ensure that we end up at Escravos. We have an end in mind. We want to help you refine your end in mind at Wealth Acceleration Bootcamp in February. We want you to determine what you want to get out of your life. Because once you can set the sail, the rest become a piece of cake. What do you really want? And I'll show you a little example with the strategic visioning as soon as I finish this. I don't know what time is it and how much time I have. Oops, 30 more minutes. Maybe I'll let you stop and do strategic visioning. But let's go ahead quickly and finish this. Sir. Begin only when you have in mind. What do you want to achieve as this is concerned in the next 3 months, 1 year, 5 years, 20 years? And what is your why for financial freedom? Because if your why is big enough, as I said, your how will become what? Easy. Easy. Set your sails. I am going to, in a moment, not yet, but in a moment, ask you to set goals for the next 6 months, 1 year. Goals that I'll expect to get feedback from you. I'll give you my email. Send me your celebration story. Put it out on social media. Tag me. If you're out there watching us via this live streaming, you want to participate in the next goal setting exercise. We call it strategic visioning. We help you set compelling goals where you can plant it in your time stream in future, where your goals become compelling. You feel drawn to them, literally. Many people, the only thing they know about goals is smart. So we help you to set a goal and to put a date in it, because a goal that doesn't have a date is a what? It's a wish. It's a wish, ladies and gentlemen. So you want to be able to set the right goal, OC. Set the right goal. Larry Alder said this. Next. So you have read this. How come your life has not changed? Because you have become. Somebody say, I have become. Yeah. You become. Once you just read on the surface, your mind is going to develop conscious resistance to anything that is new. Your mind will drift towards what is familiar. You need help. You need help. You need intervention that is not divine. The divine has given that wisdom to somebody. Let's come and gather it together. Do you understand that? Yes. Move on quickly. 3 more slides. Okay? So what do we need to do, ladies and gentlemen? We need to learn. We need to learn. We need to learn. We need to learn, but we need unusual learning. Unusual learning. And there are paradigms that must shift. And here are a few of them, ladies and gentlemen. Your goal is no longer going to be financial security. It's going to be what? Financial what? Many things that you think that are assets, they are not what? They are not assets. How much you earn is not important. Wealth Acceleration Bootcamp will reveal all of that to you. Money, hard work, savings, mbanu. They are not it. Economics is not all true. Savers are not better than debtors. Your greatest problem are not you cannot achieve without a. Everybody here already have a map. We want to change that map and give you a more empowering map. Move on, sir. Move on. Move on. Move on, 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 move on. Okay? Move on. Move on. I think I'm ending. Tomorrow, yes, go back. Tomorrow is going to be Monday. Somebody here. When it's time to go to work, you're like, it's Monday again. In fact, they say research shows that more people have died on Mondays in places like the United States where they have dependable statistics than us. Now, when we did the 7, in fact, what I want you, who here money is your number one goal that you would love to set? Let me see your hands up. Money is your number one goal. Number one goal. See them for me. Money is seeing you. When I said seeing you, more hands went up. Okay. I want you to set a goal for the next 1 year. Write the goal. What you want to achieve with money in the next 1 year. Don't say I want to build. I want to have this kind of money and this and this and this. Write your goal. You know that goal setting apparatus called SMART. What's it called? Should be specific. It should be achievable, realistic, time bound. Good. Use it now. One time, measurable, realistic. Use it now. Now. Everybody, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Use it against you now. From the back, do it now. Write a goal. Write a goal. Don't say I want more money. There's nothing like more money. If you need more money, I'm going to give you 15 naira and that you would have had more money. Life will give you 15 naira. That's more money. Goal achieved. I want to end with strategic visioning. I said, write your goal. Be specific. I will just point to you and I say, read your goal. Hey, stop sleeping. Write your goal. Stop sleeping. Wake up. Wake up. Have you written it? Let me see. So I can read it. This is not a goal now. Where is it? That's the money goal. No. Like, state how much money you have earned in the goal and then what you are doing with it. Self-development, how much? Because otherwise I'll give you one of our handouts. That's self-development. Prayer answered. Finish. So you have to say what you want. Which called self-development. I'll show you one of the most powerful things that we've got going for us at Innocent Minds now.
I see trees of green, red roses too. see them blue for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night.
Nike, come on. Bia.
What a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do?
Manuals and turn to page 26. The strategic visioning process, this process allows you to put what? Not in, to put your future, remove the in. Put your future in such a way that the future occurs how? Actually occurs. Strategic visioning helps you to take charge of your unconscious expectations from moment to moment. So it helps you balance your expectations unconsciously from moment to moment. Most people go through things with unconscious expectations of failure. Establish here, that here. Most people, instead of looking for what will work, they will be looking for, focusing on what will not work unconsciously without knowing it. Okay? So most people go through things with unconscious expectations of failure. Remember, no expectations are expectations of what? No. Don't say, I don't expect anything. You're not get anything because you're expecting no. We need to take charge of our unconscious expectation from moment to moment as we navigate the playing field of life. So let's use this criteria to sharpen the goal you've created. The goal you've created, does it pass criteria. The first criteria is what? C. C is what? Concise and clear. Write the outcome or your goal in a nutshell type statement, whether it's 1 or 2 sentences. So who wrote that like that? Yes. How did you write it? Yeah. How did you write it? Read it to me. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Yeah. To me. Dandy's Day Nursery School is now much more bigger than it is. So I sent you 3 buckets of paint today and asked them to build one more class. Achieved. But is that what you want? But say what you wanted the way you wanted it. So I'll paint it with a few paint and build 1 extra classroom. Is that what you want? So why didn't you say what you wanted? You don't have an expectation of what you want. What you are saying is what you're going to get. Your unconscious mind needs specific instruction. Huh? It says, be concise and be clear. Make it very clear. Provide details as possible. See the last word there? Details as what? Did you see it, everybody? So is your goal having detail? Maybe no. Realistic. More people overestimate what they achieve in a year and underestimate what they can achieve in a lifetime. Did you see that? Did you see that? Yes. We are always shooting below target. Why? Because our values, our beliefs, the ones we learned, the ones we inherited, they've made us dream small. So we can play safe. You hate saying you are a failure. So you hit, you target below the blade and you hit the mark. You say, hey, hallelujah, it has happened. God win. Always undershooting. Always underperforming. Always underperforming. Right on target. Because you're afraid of failure. Okay? Make it realistic. What is realistic? Look at the definition of realistic in the next. If you have never reached your goal before, every time you say you want 1 million, you make 200,000. Every time you say 1 million, make 200,000. It means that you need to scale back. You need to do what? It means make it 400 and hit it first. Then make it 700. Hit it consequently. Then set it bigger. You are always setting it too high. A bit above where you can reach. Reach it. Scale back. Reduce what you have been calling. Because some people said to you that if what you want is not too big for you, it's not for my God, because God wants to help you. Scale back. The shouting doesn't make the goal come to pass. I know somebody's angry with me here now. But it's my job to help you break through your boundaries and push. Look at your neighbor and say, I came here to push. Can you push somebody for me? Push, push, push somebody. Push. I said push. Push, push. Push her. It's okay, it's okay. Okay. Ah! Some people have been looking for opportunity. Chris, why are you pushing that lady like that? Alpha? No, bros. Make your goal realistic. Are you seeing realistic there? Make it realistic. Now, for some people, they always dream too small. So they always achieve their goal. Always achieve their goal. They always achieve their goal. It means you are setting the thing too small. Raise the bar. You're setting it too high. Scale back. Scale up. Make it realistic. Does it make realistic clear? Good. Who's going to do that? Say I. Now say, the Lord, what do you have me do? Commit your ways to the Lord, and he shall direct your path. Each time you come to the Lord is saying, welcome, show me your ways. Where are the ways you came with? Your ways says, Lord, you've given me a brain. It's not for decoration, it's for a purpose. You give me the ability to think and to calculate. It's not a ruse. By my own human ability, I've calculated, projected, and I'm counting the cost. You didn't say, he who wants to build a house should better learn how to count the cost just for saying sake. You said it so that I can really learn how to count the cost. Counting the cost is a skill. I've learned it, Lord, according to what I know. This is what I have done. Here, see. But I am willing to be submitted to you. You can make this bigger. Feel free. You can make it smaller. Commit your ways. When you come to the Lord, you ask him, where is your ways? Where? Can I see your way? You say, I surrender, Lord. You fall. I surrender. It just were floating in the spirit. Floating in the spirit. As the Lord leads, brother, you are lazy. He gave you a mind. Use it. Don't be downstairs and saying, Lord, if it's your will, take me upstairs. Say, if it's the will of the God, he will give me. It is his will. Beloved, I wish above all that thou mayest prosper. What's that? You like this kind of pastor? Yes, sir. Come to my NLP church. If you have never reached your goal, stretch yourself and make them bigger. Make them what? How many people are going to make them bigger? You've been making them too small. If you're making them too big, step down. Making them small. The next one is what? I'm showing you how to write that goal, and we're going to rewrite it now. If you close late, Mbanu, you must do it. Who wants to do it? Say I. So that the next one you didn't say will teach you something that doesn't work. Condition. Make the goal ecological. What does that mean? Ecology means this goal that you have written down. What is the consequences upon yourself, your values, your beliefs? Make sure that this goal is not going to cause harm to you. It's not going to cause harm to your neighbor. It's not going to cause harm to the community. It's not going to cause harm to the universe. Nigeria is one place where you hear, listen to me, you're online, you're watching. You set goal. You say, this is my year of increase. I want to build factory, chlorine factory. They've shown you that chlorine is the new way to move, to make money. I want to hammer so that I can buy hammer. You go and you build a factory in a residential neighborhood. It's not ecological. It's going to cause harm. When the inspection people come, you put everything that looks like the pure water thing is correct. When they go, you go behind the corner. It's not ecological. Set your goal in such a way that it's ecological. See, why? Because you have values. When you come to Wealth Acceleration Bootcamp, we'll ask you to write down your wealth creation values. And they must align. They must be in sync. They must make you happy. Every time you did somebody wrong and you couldn't sleep was because you were in violation of your values. Every time you did something and you couldn't sleep, you were in violation of your values. Sometimes you want to create wealth, you are in violation of your values. Somebody talked earlier about doing something and making money. Anyhow, where's that guy? Says just make money, it's not healthy, but I just make it anyway. And you're struggling. Some of us is a competition. There are people, for example, who want to teach and train neuro-linguistics programming, and they are not properly trained. And I met a lot of people who say they have done NLP trainings. I asked them, what is strategic visioning? They don't know. But you did NLP training. Did you do timeline therapy? No. Did you learn about trance? No. Who is Milton Erickson? I don't know. Where did you do it? It's some guy in Lagos. How did he do it? He read a book. He did a course online. But he's a big man, so he has a big car. So he must know what he's doing. Did you measure what you were learning across what is happening internationally and compared it to global standards? I became a master practitioner of NLP in the UK. I went on, I became a trainer of NLP with Christopher Howard Training. You can Google it, you can check it up. You can come to me and ask me for my certificate. If anybody wants to teach you NLP, I'm talking to you. Ask them, show me your trainer certification. Show me your trainer certification. You say you're doing trainer certification in the UK. Show me. You're doing it in the US. Show me who qualified you to train. Don't hoodwink people. You are going against your values. You say you have values, you are violating them. What you're doing is unecological. It's not ethical. It is Nigeria. Anything goes. Nobody may catch you, but your conscience will catch you. How can you study chemistry in primary school, then go to your village in Ogbomoso where nobody knows, then you set up a university? But it was primary school certificate you have. But you set up a university. Because it's Nigeria, anything goes. Anything goes. Nobody would catch me. I just said it and it's going to be on. Misquote, misjudge, misfire. Did I call anybody's name? No. It's the new, it's the meaning, it's the moving thing now. It's Akara, it's Akara. Let's all become certifiers in Akara. Akara training. Ecological. Study the concept. Ask yourself, is this safe for me? Is this safe to the other people? Is this safe to the planet? This project, this goal you just wrote, is this safe to you? Check. Check. What are your values? Can you elicit your values? Come to the NLP training, please. Let's help you elicit your values with regards to different areas of your life. Relationships, business, money, marriage, career. What are your values? What are the things that give you a sense of direction? Your true north. What's your purpose? Don't know. But you want to make money. To do what? Wosai. That's why it never grows beyond 3,400 naira. Ecological. Your goal must be ecolo. Does that make sense? Your goal next must be written as if now. It must be written how? What does that mean? Listen, everybody. Look up, look up, look up. Write your goal in present tense as if you are watching a movie and it is happening now. Even though you are putting the goal in the future, you are saying, it is now 5th of December. The future date is what? 2018. I am, my birthday is 5th of December. That's 2 days away from now. Don't tell me happy birthday, package a gift. I didn't collect offering in this place. Just joking. Anyway, so I want you to do something. Write your goal as if it is occurring. It is now 5th of December 2018. Your goal. Let me see that your goal again. It's written like this. Your goal must start with it is now. That's how your goal must start when you're writing it. It is now. Put the date. 1 year from now. It is now 5th of December 2018. Omilola, what's that your goal again? Training, right? Listen to me, Omilola. Wake up. I am celebrating the completion of the 4th level training of my NLP training. I look back and I see 16 of my team members who just joined as well with me on this journey. We're celebrating not just the completion of the training, but the massive shifts I have made in my experience with earning money. Finish. It is now 5th of December. I am returning from the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, where we just, which vacation are you planning to go to with your team next year? Where we just returned from a training, blah, 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 blah. Write it like that. But make it realistic, remember? Realistic, concise, and all of that. Put it as it is now, like it is happening now. But put that future date. Don't put this year's date. Is that clear? It is now this. Become imaginative. Use your imagination. Many of us can imagine problems. Can imagine a great future. Imagination of problem is called anxiety, fear. It is now. Look at the note there. It says, ask yourself, is this safe? Sorry. You say, success is not the corner. The what? It's not at the corner. Say, when I turn the corner, I'll get success. Say, it is right now. Don't so. My goal is going to happen soon. Next month. Very soon. By the grace of God. There is no date called by the grace of God. Did you hear that? Nigeria, there is no date called by the grace of God. There is a date on the calendar. The grace of God is constant and it's already available to you. I have told you. Stop punctuating every sentence with that. Do you understand? Don't say very soon, next month, next year. Next year is not a date. The date is December 5th, 2018. Or December, whatever. Put your birthday. 1 year from now. I said write a 1 year goal. The next one is what? Time towards the positive. Your goal must be written in the positive. Don't write a goal that it is now 3rd of December and I have lost weight. The unconscious mind doesn't want to hear lost weight. I have gained my ideal weight. Do you understand? I have just graduated from Mrs. Usa's coaching sessions. I am feeling vibrant and alive. I'm excited because people are saying to me, what happened to you? Your weight is marvelous. Do you understand? Write your goal like this. No. It was when I studied this about 9 years ago that I realized faith called those things that be not as though they were, but we didn't know how to put it. The Oyibo man who taught me this showed me how to put it. Church folk didn't show me how to put it. When I looked at the Bible, they were correct. It's a universal principle. It is now. It is happening already. If you cannot create anything at the imagination, you will never hold it in your hands. To create something in your hand first, before you can see it here, is a reversion of the order of creation. It's an abnormality. It's putting the cart before the horse. Anything you get that way, woosai. Check the politicians who are making quick money before they build here. Shh. Wind comes and blows it away because it wasn't created here. It was created here. It's against the order of creation. Are you listening to me? Put a future when it will occur. Make sure the goal is set in the positive. And also use positive emotions. Use what? State how you are feeling when that is happening. I'm so excited. I'm thrilled. I'm happy. Somebody should write their goal and say, it is now 5th of December. And I am at the housewarming party. DJ Jazzy Jeff. Jimmy Jack. Playing Oruko by Kini Kon. And I'm so excited that finally I am in my house. Simple. Make it sound real. Put yourself in the picture. See it. Is that clear to everybody? So I'm giving you 2 minutes to write your goal. Start with it is now and I am now. Do it now. Write it on a fresh piece of paper. Do it. Do it. Do this last push. Push the boundaries of your push those boundaries. Push those mental boundaries. Push it now. For me, push it. Adaura, push. Olabukola, push. Stephanie, push. Rewrite it. You rewrite it. Let me read it. It is now the 3rd of December 2018. And I am and Dandy's Day Nursery and Primary School is just commissioning her 2-story building. Have you seen how she's transformed her goal? Commission her 2-story building facility. We are celebrating with wonderful teachers who have attended NLP and are effective at teaching. Wow. Simple. Put your hands together for her. That's how I want it. Simple. Did you put emotions there? Excitement. Fantastic. Excitement is not the only emotion. What are other positive ways of setting our emotions? Where are all these English people? Huh? I'm rejoicing. Huh? I'm thrilled. What else? Huh? I'm enthusiastic. I'm what? Overwhelmed with what? I'm feeling fulfilled. Does that make sense to you? Who wants me to read theirs? So don't write one line and say it's the goal. That's how we've already put our goal. It is now the 3rd of December 2018. And I am now a president director Is that what they call it? A president director at Oriflame, Nigeria, earning how much? 9 million monthly. Huh? 5 million monthly. Million what? Kobos, pesos. Can be CFA franc. Be what? Specific. 5 million CFA. Ghanaian cedis. Having 6 diamond directors in my network. Now, I don't even have to state that. Okay? There are some things that when you write them, it will presuppose that something has happened. Eh? It is now the 3rd of December 2018 at the Ladi Kwali Hall of Sheraton, Mobalaji Bank, Way. I'm trying to paint the picture of an event where we are being promoted. Eh? When you are a president director, who are the people underneath you? What's the rank before that one? Executive. How many executives do you have to create to be a president director? There's no number. Diamonds. You produce diamonds. How many diamonds? 6. So I turn around and I look at my spouse, one of my 6 executive diamonds. By saying that, you already say I am a. You know that, ba? Yeah. So you presuppose in your statement that this other one has happened. As we celebrate our new promotion, we are excited as we rejoice and dance with our plugs in our hands or whatever it is. Huh? Cash awards. Cash award. That one they write on the board, the big one. Put it like that. Make it look real. Like you're writing a movie script and you are the actor and the director at the same time. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be like this. Just make it more lively. But I love what you've done. I will read one more and I go. See, all the men are not giving me. It's women. What is it with Nigerian women? Waiting, sir. Would I allow us shine? It is now the 3rd of December. It's not a woman's world. Chai. It is now the 3rd of December 2018, and I entertain all family and friends at my house warming. Yes! Now, when you are writing housewarming, to make the goal realistic, I may ask you, do you have the land? If you don't have the land, is it realistic? Except if you have money in the bank for land, or, do you understand? If you're working with me as a coach, that's what I'll do. So, somebody, don't say, I have bought over all of MKO Abiola's property 2018 December. I ask you, how many properties do you have now? I don't have anything. Say, my God is a God of El Shaddai. Because that's what they told us. And so, ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest cancers in the church today is a scripture that says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. Every year, our expectations are raised and dashed. Hope raised and dashed. Raised and dashed. Because of dream big. If the Lord has called you, the Lord will provide. The Lord gives you a dream, the Lord gave you a brain to think and bring your ways, commit your ways into his hands. Now, when you ask people to write their goals, normally they say, I want 2 cars by this time next year. When you state that way, there is a language that the unconscious mind understands. You are saying to the unconscious mind, I have this thing I want to do, but it's work. It's a mountain. It's out there. Go and do it. The unconscious mind says, that is work to do. Let's do it later. Let's do it soon. Let's do it tomorrow. Let's sleep small and consider doing it very soon. But when you say to the unconscious mind, it is happening already. The unconscious mind goes, because that's the same thing you do when you fear. If there's anybody here who has a phobia for snake, they say, hey, there's a snake here. The mind does not know whether you are joking. Even scripture says, do not say to the angel, I was only playing around. The mind does not know when something is a joke or it is true. So write your goal as if it has already occurred. The mind, you were tricked into believing who you are not, into being afraid, into having anxiety, into having fear. Trick your way out of it. Somebody didn't get what I just said. You've been tricked to get here. trick yourself out. That's what we call entrancement. Even hypnosis, that's what it really is. Trick yourself out. All the exercise we were doing earlier, people came here and they were crying. They tricked their minds. They went to the past. It was resolved. And somebody said, I've already put a call through to somebody. I already booked an appointment. That thing that happened was a lie. Somebody gave you a false identity. It was a lie. The mind doesn't know whether something is true or not. When you say, I'm poor, I'm broke, and yet you are not broke yet, it's saying, create it. When you say, I'm rich, and you don't have it yet, it says, go, create it. So when you put your goal in your future, what you're doing is, we'll do an exercise shortly as we close, where we'll make you travel in your mind to where the goal is happening. The thing that you say you are feeling there, we'll ask you not to feel it when it happens. Feel it now. If you are feeling excited, how will you be sounding? Is that how you're feeling? You feel it now. You feel excited. Or you got, even if you're not making noise, it will show on your face. Excitement will show on your face. It's not always shouting. It will show on your face. You say, I'm rejoicing. You'll be rejoicing inside you. You'll be bubbling. You'll be bubbling. You feel it. Some of you have heard a bit of this in church, but they didn't go this detailed. Am I talking to somebody? You feel it. Faith, call it those things that be not as though they were. When you are there, how will you feel? What will you see? What will you hear? What would you feel? What will you say to yourself when it has happened? Write it down. Convince yourself. Now, remember we started this training by saying it's about making those neurological pathways. Making what? That is traveling in your mind to that farm that you have never been to and that road that is rough, making it clear. Most of us have never, when they say, can you imagine yourself having 1 million? You start to laugh. That was what was happening to Abraham when the angels came to Abraham. Our children, you couldn't see it. Why is Abraham called the father of faith? He said he hoped against hope. He saw a nation when there was no Isaac. I'm asking you to do what is scriptural, but because you have not heard it presented this way, you are saying, what is this? What is this? What is it? It's called conscious resistance. Wake up! Wake up, man! What's wrong with you? Break out of that mediocrity. Break out today. Who wants to break out? Say I. Some of you are still looking. They there. Go see us. We'll go celebrate our 2010 car. I'll be 2012 next year. But they there. Say, I was there. Oh. Hey, that guy is lucky. Elo. Who has? He has. Some of you have not. You have not written anything. How you do one thing is how you do. It's not a surprise why you are where you are. It's not. It's not. You know it. You know what I'm talking about. It's not. So you've written your goal. You've arranged it. This is the last thing we're going to do. In a moment, Godson. We're going to stand. Not yet. When we stand, look at what I will ask you to do. This is today. This is the future. For example, let's say this is your timeline. Whether it's in front of you or through you, it doesn't matter. Did you enjoy the presentation by Suni yesterday about in time, through time, people? Fantastic. This is to when? This is where? This is where we are today. I would ask you to imagine the goal is in front of you and is happening already. It's like a movie you're watching. You are inside and you are associated and you are seeing yourself happening. You pretend and you imagine and you pretend and you imagine. Can you pretend? How much does it cost to pretend? How much naira do you need to pretend? You pretend that it is happening, it is in front of you, it's a movie you're watching, and you can see yourself inside. It's happening. You are dancing, you are celebrating, you are collecting the award, you are building the house, you are dedicating it. Did I finish this thing at all? This criteria, did I finish it? Because there's somewhere where it should give me. Which one? End step. Because I was thinking of something was missing. Step. What is the last thing that has to happen for you to realize that the goal has occurred? This is very critical. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. What is the last thing that has to happen for you to know the goal has occurred? If you are expecting 1 million naira, what is the last thing that will happen to show you that 1 million has happened? Correct, people. Your bank alarm go sound. Bagan. How will it sound? How will you know? How will you know? SMS. How else? Email. How else? Check your balance. I am in my office checking my... So that's how you should have written your goal. It is now the 5th of December. I am on the phone with my bank manager and he's saying, congratulations, Mr. Usa. Your account qualified you to earn our special, but you've hit the 25 billion naira mark. Don't celebrate for me. Do your own. Do you understand? That is how I wrote that I was going to Hawaii. Not, I wish and I hope by the grace of God, just in case the Lord favors me. There has to be some level of certainty. Certainty is one of the human needs, according to best-selling author Tony Robbins. Certainty. Human beings want a degree of what? Certainty. End step. What is that last thing that has to happen? If your own is to transit and you have built a structure, blah, blah, what's that last thing that has to happen? Celebration where? Many people say, I am at a party. Where? State the place. Say at so-so-so hotel. At so-so-so banquet hall. At so-so-so airport. Your own is vacation. Say your own is marriage. What is the evidence if it's marriage? You are at a wedding. Don't do engagement, though. Especially this Nigerian kind of engagement. You never hear of some professional engagers? They wear ring for how many years? Lord of the Rings. And some guys are smart now. They know all the girl wants is engagement. Once I engage her, she'll give me the milk. I don't have to buy the cow. Yeah. Why do I need to buy the cow if I can get the milk? In fact, some of the beef. So what has to happen? Which is your goal again? I hope it's something to do with Kelly, something. What's the way to tell me quickly? You're laughing. I am back baking. Okay, back. Huh? Back in Dubai. My business meeting. Where in Dubai? Can you go and do some research and check online where in Dubai you want to do that meeting? Ask somebody who has been to Dubai. Check the hotels, blah, blah, blah. See, you have to be specific. For my makeup company, launching in October. What if you are at the launching event already? I said, right, it is now the date. Okay? Speak the location. Some of you, is stated to be something to do with your marriage. Some of you. So now, can you go and redo all your other goals following this procedure? When you come to NLP level 1, that's when you will know what makes this work. I'd like to work with you. I'd like to work with you. I would like to work with you. Some people, a pastor called me from Daystar. He said, when I came to push, I was in debt. You made us set goals. Innocent, it works, it works, it works. I'm coming to push to NLP level 1. When he came to push, he didn't want to come to NLP level 1. He just set the goal. He called me personally. He said, I am coming. He said, in fact, I'm paying flight ticket to come to Jos to do it. I don't want to do it in Lagos. I don't want distraction. He came to Jos and he did the training with us. Some of you want the training to happen in your backyard before you do it. Auntie Nika's daughter, she's been begging her to come and do it in Nigeria. The girl said, no, I'm doing it in the UK. I'm ready to spend the money, spend the flights, pay hotel accommodation. Which one? What do you want to do? Okay? So, can we get to business now? Can we get to business? Look at that goal for one last time as you stand, Osi. We're going to go on a journey of... We're going to go on a journey. Everybody stand. Keep your goals away. Keep it away. Let your hands be free. Keep it away. Let your hands be free. The last thing we do as we walk home today. Maybe you don't need to be in a hurry. I want to take pictures with as many of you as possible, so that when the goal happens, I will see that. See, I was with you before you what's that thing again? Before you blow. Or you hammer. You hammer. Now you hammer. You know, bring tight. Can't give me. Huh? Put your goal. As you don't play around now. Think about the goal you said you wanted to create. Imagine that the goal is happening now. Got it? Imagine the goal once happen now. Get excited. Close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Think of that goal. Think of that goal. Think of that goal. Imagine that the goal is occurring right now and you are seeing yourself in the goal. Hearing the sounds of the goal happening right now. Hearing that announcement. Close your eyes. Keep the writing material away. Keep the phone away. Now. That phone is the reason why you are where you are. And it's still in the way now. And as you think of that goal, it's occurring now. It's a movie you're watching. You're hearing the sounds of being there at the celebration. Hear the sounds now. Make it even louder. If the picture you're seeing is black and white, make it color. How about turn the brightness up until the color is most appropriate for what you want. Make it so colorful, so incredibly attractive to you. Hear the sounds that you hear at the event where the goal is occurring. Hear the sounds of the people who are there. Is it your son running to hold you? If it's marriage, are you about to kiss? What is it? Come on. Hear the sounds. Make it the most compelling for you. Feel the feelings that you want to feel at that event now. Feel it now. Let me see that smile on you. Let me see the excitement. You can't be excited and your face is not like Mount Zion. Feel the feelings now. The feelings of being there. Hearing the sounds. What are you saying to yourself as the goal occurs now? What are you saying to yourself? Say it on the inside of you now. Say it on the, I like what I'm seeing. Imagine now that the goal is right in front of you. Listen, I want you to step out of the goal. Imagine yourself step out of the goal. But you are seeing yourself in the goal and it's like a big frame in front of you. Got it? You're a big frame in front of it. Yes, yes, yes. You are out of the goal. You are seeing the picture in the goal. You are seeing yourself in the goal, but you are out of it. I want you to reach out and grab the frame in your hands. All in your imagination. Eyes closed and rise. Imagine you are rising up in the air. Rise up in the air with the goal in your hands. As you rise up towards the heavens, notice the future is stretched out in one direction. I don't know which direction. And the past is stretched out on the other. With the goal in your hands. As you rise in the beginning, I know the good book says that when God created man, he breathed the breath of life and man became a living soul. As we rise, going even higher, the past in one direction, the future in another, I'd like you to breathe 3 heart creation breaths on this goal now. Let's do it together. As you rise, float in the direction of the future now. As you go all the way to the future, the breath is okay. Go in the future, holding the goal in your hand. Go right in the future. Arrive. Go all in your imagination until you arrive exactly above the stream of time, up there in the air, all in your imagination, above that date when you said that the goal would occur. That date when you said the goal will occur, the goal is down below. The date is down below. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to drop. Not yet, but in a moment, I'm going to ask you to drop what you are holding in your hands. Drop it. As you drop it, turn and look towards the past. Look at the past. Notice that the past is changing. The past is turning. The past is shifting. Everything that had to happen for this goal to occur is rapidly shifting and turning and changing at the stream of time at the unconscious level. Every change that you needed to make, every prayer that had to be answered, every courage that you needed, every enthusiasm you needed, everything is happening, is shifting, is changing. Every relationship that needed to be built, the past is changing. Turn now and look towards the future, all in your imagination, and notice that the future is changing as well. The future is brilliant. The future is colorful. The future is glorious. The future is fantastic. The future is amazing. Your eyes are closed. You're all in the realm of imagination. And as that happened, see how the goal is happening. The future is brilliant. Creative imagination. As the goal happens, watch the goal happen. Live the goal happening right there. While it is here waiting for you to come and to experience it. Go all the way back. Come on. All the way back. Come all the way back to today. Come all the way back as the goal waits to occur. Come all the way back to now. Come all the way back down into this room. Open your eyes. Congratulations. Reach out to 1, 2, 3 people. Say to them, it's been an amazing 3 days. Your future is brilliant. And I look forward to meeting with you. Congratulations. Well done. Well done. Done. I celebrate you. I celebrate you. I celebrate you. I am happy for you. I am happy for you. Celebrate, 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 celebrate. Rejoice. 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 Don't go anywhere, don't go anywhere, don't go anywhere, don't go anywhere, don't go anywhere. Do not go anywhere. Do not move an inch. Do not move an inch. Rejoice. Rejoice.
Extraordinary things happen to me and
all right. Okay. Finally, sit down. Let me show you something. 2 minutes and we'll go. Finally. 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 Has anybody been on a construction site before that you own? Or you visited somebody's construction site? Has anybody here been in the construction industry before? You're an architect, you build regularly? Sir, please come. Come. Are you an architect? Builder? Architect. Oh, fantastic. Come, please stand over here. Give me a big hand, somebody. When an architect has finished their design, how do you feel when you finish your design? That big project, finally, you've connected all the dots, you've done everything to scale. You have the whatever it is, the design by the electrical people, the weights people, what do you call them? Structural engineers and everything. How do you feel?
There's a great satisfaction in knowing that you've created something that ordinarily other people do not appreciate.
But wait, you haven't even built the building yet, oh. You haven't even built the building yet.
You've created it. You've created it. You feel that it's so real. That is why you have the authority to push every other person, all the stakeholders in the business of making it real. You have the architect.
But a key owner, a key part of that is the owner. How does the owner feel? Most owners that you have worked with, honestly, Mr. Fidel, have I ever met you? Most owners, how do they feel when they see that model of from nothing, from zero, that day of the presentation? What kind of experiences have you ever seen? Please listen, keep quiet, please.
Well, for a lot of people, it's a wow experience. Many of them, the first reaction is, wow, I hope I can afford this. For others who already have their funds, it's, wow, can you get me somebody who can make sure that this is realized exactly as is visualized?
When do they want to start doing that?
Immediately.
Now, when you get on the side and you want to work with those kinds of people who want to do it immediately, anybody here want to do their project immediately? Their 1 year goal? Now, you usually have something they call a work schedule. The work schedule, sir. This work schedule is broken down into weeks, sometimes hours, sometimes months, sometimes days of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. When you get to site, you already have your building permit, you already have the land secured, you have the approved building plans. What's the first thing that happens on site in the schedule?
Setting out.
Setting out. Setting out. But I know you also do site clearing.
The site clearing is not necessarily something that takes too long. So most often, for most sites, unless on sites that have peculiar terrains, you discover that you can easily do the clearing and the setting out the same day.
Okay, so if you do clearing, setting out, that takes how long? For example, let's say a project of 2-story building takes how long?
It says, you mean the setting out and clearing? The number of days for the preparatory this thing? Let's say between 1 day and 7 days.
Days. You do setting out. So you can put that in the plan. You say 1 day and 7 days. Can you predetermine that and plan? Yeah? Who wants to build a house that doesn't first sit down and count the costs? So now you have dreamed the dream. But you need to come and do, you've designed a building, you've designed the project. But now, that's what we just did. But now you have to come and now put a plan of execution. Do you understand that? You do a plan per week. Between now and the next 1 year, what has to happen on week 1? Sometimes the setting out finishes after so many of nowadays, and you also project that, and the next side of what will continue during day 3. This other one will continue this. The blinding will start. Site excavation. This and that will start. Am I correct, sir? Yeah. And then you go on and you go and go. Sometimes you can be ahead of schedule. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be behind schedule. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So, but you use this to tell you how you are going to go. Does this, like project management, really help?
To manage the process of the construction.
Now, I'm telling you today, if you are here, put your hands together for him as he goes to sit down. From the starting of this project we started today, clearing, excavation, laying the blocks, blah, blah, blah of your project. I want you to go home today and draw out a plan. The plan is, what do you need to learn about this project that you haven't learned? Who do you need to partner with? What resources do you have? What don't you have? What will happen if you do this? What will not happen if you do this? Huh? Who do you need on the team with you? Why do you want it? With whom would you want it? Where do you want it? And draw out a specific plan. How long will it take? By the 10th week after you leave this, where do you want to be on your plan of execution of this 1 year project you've just written? Draw out a plan of how this is going to happen. Do you understand? On the 31st, when you are going for all night meeting, that is what you should take to the Lord. Commit your ways unto the Lord and he will direct your path. Lord, you've given me wisdom. I didn't come here empty-handed. I came with something. I don't know if this is okay with you, but see, help me. Help me. If your child came to you doing a doll that his hand is broken and all they do is they fix it. But every time your child, when he was 1, he brought the doll, fix it. He's 2, bring the ball. 3, bring the 4, 5. Your child is 20. 20, he's in school, he still bring his doll to you to fix it for him. You will drive him with koboko. That's how God feels. Every time you come, say, no, I'm depending on the Lord. You make it sound very spiritual. That's why you're frustrated. You ask, but you ask amiss. How can you do this properly? Draw out a plan. Now what you have done is you have put your goal in the future. How many of you saw the end and you love the end? Time has failed us to take feedback from people who want to see an end. I want to work with you one-on-one. My team wants to work with you. Sunni wants to work with you. Walter wants to work with you. Nike wants to work with you. Talatu wants to work with you. The members of our team want to work with you to help you. Because the architect, he said he assemble what? Other members of the team. Who is on your team to enable you to achieve this goal? Which professional do you need? And when you get a professional, pay them their fees. Don't say, come and advise me. Or be those kind of people who, when they want to build a house, you meet this kind of people, they say, Oga, I better forget this architect. Build the toilet for here. Put down for the kitchen for this side. The toilet, put down for here. This line. Oh yeah, build down. Then when flood happen, you now hear, if not that the Lord knows what he's doing in my life. The Lord knows what he's doing. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh. Blessed be the name of the Lord. What is that? Have a plan. God didn't give you brains. He gave you them so he will rest. God gave you brains so that he will rest. Father! 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 Shut up. It's not deaf. Come with your ways. And be prepared to say, Lord, scrap them. Give me inspiration to find even a better way or to scale back. But here, I've come with you with my ways. That goal, go and write it clearly. Now go and do this for financial goals. Go and do this for goals for your marriage. Go and do this for your personal development goals. Everybody here, if you want to grow 2018, you must have a personal development goal and a personal development budget. What was your budget for this year for personal development? 0. But you want to hammer. Hammer how? You cannot become who you haven't become. You cannot have what you haven't become. Do you understand me? What's your budget for NLP for next year? You've been to seminars like this, free, air condition, everything, free. We have done this for you for free. We want to work with you. We want you to show us that you are committed and you are a no excuse person. Is there anybody like that here? As we close, go out there, enroll for this training. Go out there, encourage me. Buy those products. Buy those CDs. Don't let my investment in you be a waste. Don't sneak out, run and say, I'll do it soon. Show seriousness in yourself. If you don't do it, who will? Think you're smart. I've gotten what I need already. Says who? You laugh, him thief. Some of the most dangerous people you ever meet is people who are half educated. You go and tell people you went for an NLP training. This is an introduction to NLP. And the people who even said they did NLP, I can't count the number of those people who did those NLP things in Lagos and they came to our training and repeated it again. I can call their names. Many of them. And then they say, we weren't taught this. We weren't taught this. What did you do? I don't know. We weren't taught this. We weren't taught this. You have a problem. You did it. How didn't you deal with this? Ladies and gentlemen, I have made a vow that I will see you again with my team members. But the vow that I've made is that I have prepared a special whip. I invite you to my office this week to come and see it. So whip, Koboko. This whip is for anybody who is in this room, who has been here this last 3 days, 1 day or 2 days. That if I catch you on a pension queue, if I catch you, I will whip you out of that pension queue. You have no excuse. You must succeed. I said you must succeed. You have no reason to be mediocre. You will not only, you will lead others in buses towards success. You will lead thousands to success. You will not stay alone. You will lead nations to success because you deserve. And I deserve to see you there. And I deserve to work with you. My team deserves to coach you. And I deserve to blow you kisses. I deserve to see you on that day when a crown is being put to you on you by a creator saying, well done, good and faithful servant. And you look back to those years and thank God you met Innocent Usa, Innocent Minds and his team members. This is not a fluke. This is possible. I'd like to meet you soon. God bless you. Osi. Let's start this with Wealth Acceleration Bootcamp. We have push coming on the 12th. Huh? 12, 13, and 14. I don't want any of you to be there. I want the people of January. It's a bet. This is the best way for anybody that you know to start the year. Write it down now. Take a pen and paper. Write it. 12, 15. But if you join us on Facebook, our page on Facebook, Innocent Minds Training, we will always be putting a notification there. Follow me on Twitter at Innocent Minds or at Innocent Usa or at NLP with Innocent Minds, Instagram and all that. Please, I beg you. I beg you. I beg you. If you are not doing anything here, get others involved. I think it's 12, 13, 14. Talatu? 12, 13, 14. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every experience is different, better, and unique than the last one. Make sure your husband is here, your cousin is here, your brother. Make sure you send people here who can afford it. If you need to recommend more people to be here, we'll give you more forms. Wait behind and ask me, ask our team members. But more than anything else, register for Wealth Acceleration Bootcamp February. February 19th is NLP Level 1. February 4th to 10th is WABC, Wealth Acceleration Bootcamp. Follow us on social media. Please, please, please. Go on YouTube. Subscribe now. If you're watching online, go on YouTube. You are there right now. Subscribe to this link so that you can get all of our videos. We have plenty of videos from some of our NLP trainings that we upload for free for you to learn some things. We will put as much data there for you. Get that. Learn. Invest in yourself. Build the future. I'd like you to celebrate my wife, Talatu Usa, for making this happen for me. She supported me all of these years. Please don't go. Just help me clap for her. Clap for Talatu Usa. She's an amazing woman. I have never seen a woman like her in my life. She's the most beautiful. She's the sweetest. She's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I spent all her savings training to become a trainer of NLP 9 years ago. She supported me. She believed in me. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate. I appreciate. You know that thing we were talking about last night? Forgive me. I beg, John. I love you. I'd like you to thank somebody who is very special to me. He doesn't only just take care of our sounds and our recordings. He ensures that we have some of the best concepts I've seen since I came to Lagos. I think Nigeria has one of its best. His name is O.C. Godson. Wave, O.C. Wave, O.C. You want to work with him? Contact him. Most of our videos that you see online, he's responsible for them. O.C., thank you so much. I know I have never told you how grateful I am. Thank you, sir. Thank you for believing in me and for what you do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Ochi has worked for some big ministries in Nigeria. He's abandoned all of that. He abandons a lot of his personal work to make sure what we have to do here survives. He brings things, doesn't ask for money, spends extra time, brings people. He's amazing. And I met him through his wife. Amazing Ego. Put your hands together for Ego. Ego, I hope you are watching now. I love you still. Mwah. Give birth to that baby. Yes, next tomorrow. Give birth to that. Oh, it's January. Sorry, it's January. I'm not asking for a premature baby. I'd like you to celebrate my friend. She's amazing. I spend a lot of time with her. We joke a lot, but she makes a lot of things happen for us. She volunteers. Up to today, she doesn't collect a dime. This past 2 years. Put your hands together for Adenike Ajayi. Hey! Nigeria's youngest trainer of NLP. This is no fluke. It's not one of those people around town who are slave queens. She's an amazing woman, young, brilliant, in her 20s, has trained PhD holders, grandfathers, directors of companies, very brilliant, very confident. One of my most reliable hands, Suni Malo. Woo! Suni has a degree from a university in Malaysia, and she also did her NLP with one of the founders of NLP, Richard Bandler. Okay, And I really appreciate Suni, and I celebrate her. I train her as a trainer, and she's fabulous, and I'm so excited about her outcomes. The people in Jos, I hope you are seeing one of your own. Oh, she's from Bokos. I brought her from the village. Now help me start. Everybody, I don't want to forget a very important, please, yes, everyone, just give the everyone. Everybody, they are giving you sheets of paper. It's a 2-minute feedback of how the training was for you. Help us to rate the training so we can do it better next time. Write your name at the end. Tell us what didn't work, what you didn't like. Be honest so that we can correct. We are not feeling bad about positive criticism. Okay? Can you help me appreciate somebody else? Where are they? He's not here. He's not feeling too fine because he gave you his best this last few days. We've been preparing a lot for here. He is a great thinker. We call him Thinking Walter. He's amazing. He does a lot of the trainings when I'm not around. Even when I'm around, sometimes I just go and sleep or do a business transaction or to negotiate with my Alhaji Maimota. Put your hands together to Walter Samuel. And maybe he's... Walter, I love you. I believe in you. We're going to go places. We're going to train in Egypt, in Mozambique, in Kenya. We'll train in Australia. We'll go all over the world training people. God bless you. I'd like you to appreciate somebody. My friend, I would like to appreciate my friend Mike Amanyi. Mike is an amazing young guy. He's a fantastic young man. Maybe he's watching, maybe he's not. But he has some of his team members. Where are Mike's team members? Where are they? Where, apart from my video guy? Where are you? Where are Mike's team members? Where are they? Apart from the video guy, where are the rest of them? Where are they? Where are they? Oh, hey, how you do? One thing is how you do everything. But I'd like to thank the guy who helped us with video recording. He's an amazing guy. Andrew is his name. Put your hands together for Andy. Put your hands together for him. Oh, you're writing. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. I really appreciate you, Andrew. I know we can do bigger, and we will do bigger things together. I'd like to thank all our alumni members who came, those who came yesterday, day before, those who are here today. I will not be able to call all your names, but I really celebrate you and thank you. Thank you to all of you who are following us online on the live streaming. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Spread these videos. Share them with your friends. Those of you who are here, go copy the link, share them with more friends, and more friends, let them get this training for free. This free NLP is better than what a lot of people out there even call NLP. But it's just an introduction. Thank you so much. I celebrate my guy, the guy who drives us, Charles. Thank you so much. I really want to celebrate this guy who's been assisting us since the last how many days. He's really, truly been amazing. He's helping me put together some write-ups on some things. We're working on a project that we're hoping will relate next to it. Bad Boy, you know who I'm talking about. I celebrate you. Put your hands together for Bad Boy, everybody. Sam. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. I want to thank some of the elderly people. My daddy and his wife from Lekki. Forgot the name. Thank you so much. Where's your wife? Thank you, madam. I appreciate you for coming, for trusting us young people. Thank you, Mrs. Ogunlesi, for your trust. Thank you so much for your partnership. I appreciate. Thank you, Praise for Wowe, for making me meet this wonderful woman. I appreciate Praise for Wowe. Can somebody give a big hand to Praise for Wowe and a big shout? Come on, look at the camera and shout out to Praise for Wowe. Woo! Praise is the guy who made me come to Lagos. He said you can't stay in that Jos, and he gave me a push. I said, come to Lagos. A lot of what people are doing here is fake. Come and show them what is real. Many people couldn't come to the training. They said, who is this guy? You know, they look for a known name. Sometimes don't look for a known name. Look for quality and results. Is that okay? Is that okay? We are not going to close our learnings because learning continues from here, and we will see you at the training very shortly in January and February. Thank you so much. Thank you, Martina. Where's Martina? Thank you so much. Thank you, Chinwe. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. God bless you. God bless you. Come, let's take some photographs. No, fill the form. If you are coming to take a photograph, be collecting your form and doing the photograph. I'll collect your form before I snap photograph with you. Please.